intro thing, and then there's a couple little videos, and then we would be on live. So Well, hello, everybody. This is Scott Roberts here with Explore Scientific and the Explore Alliance Live program. And today we have a very special guest, Maruska Strah, who is the executive director of World Space Week. She is somebody that I've wanted to do a talk with for a very long time. Learned about her maybe just over a year ago, and we chatted back and forth on social media. She's a very busy woman and very inspirational, and we're really proud and happy to have her with us. She was giving me a little bit of a background of herself and how she got involved in World Space Week. I guess all starting from being an intern at the United Nations. Is that right, Maruska?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
I started off as an intern for UN Office for Outer Space Affairs in the legal section of the office, working closely with them on Unispace Plus 50 conference and the committee work, and it was just the best experience ever. So I wanted to work with the space sector for a while, and coming from a country that has no space agency, and I'm not an engineer, so this was my way in. And while I was there, I learned about World Space Week and World Space Week Association, and here we are today.
And here you are today. So you're from Slovenia, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And that's where you are right now. But do you live in Slovenia or?
I live in Vienna.
Vienna.
I live in Vienna. Vienna is my base. I studied there, so it's like a second home, and yeah, this is where I spend most of the time.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, it's a part of the world that I'd like to visit more. So let's talk a little bit more about yourself. You and I talked about you getting into the job you had. I read something where you read papers about an international space treaty and the legal aspects of that, and you are involved in. You studied international relations, is that right?
That is correct. Yes. So while I was working on my master's in Vienna, Webster University in Vienna, I was taking a class on international law, and I read one chapter in international space law. It was Love at First Sight. And while I was reading that, the first few sentences were like, "This is what I want to do. There's nothing else I want to do. This is what I want to be involved with." So after that, it was it took me a while to actually get here, because I was trying to see what is the best way for me to actually get involved with space policy. And right. While now, my organization now, we don't actually get involved with policy discussions, because we want to make sure that our program and World Space Week really remain neutral and open for everyone. But we do a lot of outreach and we do a lot of capacity building, and I do think this is a very large part of successful policy making and what is necessary for empowerment of people to be involved with this sector.
I see. And so do you, leading up to all this, maybe from the time that you were a young child, what do you think was kind of your path to get to, being where you are now?
I cannot think of a person who is not excited about space and stars and rockets and everything out there when you're a kid. I just cannot imagine that. I was the same. And it just spoke to me. It's just something that fosters imagination in a way nothing else can. And I think being imaginative and being capable of all imagine all the possibilities that are out there is something that pretty much led me where I am today. We had this conversation. I cannot imagine of anything that is not possible.
Right, that's right. And so that's we were talking earlier about the U.S.'s plans to put people back on the moon in 2024. and and whether or not Maruska thought that would be actually feasible or possible. She's very close to the space exploration community worldwide, and so I wanted to know from her perspective about that. But let's move on to talking a little bit about World Space Week. Maybe you can give me background on, and our audience, a background on the concepts of it, its early beginnings, how it got established, and kind of where it is right now.
So World Space Week, as it is today, is an incredible program. Maybe I'm biased a bit, I will admit that, but it has a long history and it's a really successful one. Last year we celebrated our 20th anniversary because World Space Week, as we know it, was created in 1999 by the UN. And in that year, the UN held Unispace 3, a meeting of all spacefaring nations, and this resulted in the Vienna Declaration on Space and Human Development. And that declaration was the basis for World Space Week as we know it. It was officially declared to be held every year between 4 and 10 of October. And this week is now dedicated to celebration of space and sciences and basically everything that is connected today. Even before that, we had Space Week, which was celebrated in a number of nations in 1980s, and it started as a celebration of the Apollo 11 anniversary in July. Mm-hmm. And then this event was moved into the school year and coordinated by a nonprofit called Space Week International. Okay. And after this UN declaration, it was agreed that World Space Week Association is going to embrace the UN dates and become this partner in global coordination of the event.
I see.
What I think is really remarkable is if you look back at the history, you see the growth in number of events. We went from just over 1,000 a few years ago to 8,000 in 2019. Wow. And what is especially amazing is that the number of countries participating is also growing. Wow. From 86 in 2018 to 96 in 2019. So you can really see the impact the organization and participation in World Space Week has.
Right, and so you and I were talking a little bit about where you saw the most activity for World Space Week, and I was a little bit surprised at the countries that you were telling me that are the most active. What would you say are the top 3 most active countries from last year that were involved in World Space?
Last year, the most events were held in Saudi Arabia, almost 4,000 events, 4,000 in Saudi Arabia. Wow! All around the country, all over for this whole week, kids in schools participated, universities participated. It's really something to see.
Yes.
Another huge supporter is Pakistan. Their space agency is organizing a large number of events, and IST, the Institute in Islamabad, is doing an amazing job in the organization of competitions, events, and even this year, I know I've been in touch with them, and I know that even though events cannot be held in person like they were in the past, right, they still made sure that they will be active over the week and that kids can participate. And
right, yeah, we're
really
going to
remarkable.
Pandemic impact on events, these events in general. But describe to me, I mean, what do you, how does someone celebrate World Space Week? What do you, if you're a small group or an individual versus, let's say, a larger group or maybe a school, how are they contributing to World Space Week?
So the guidelines are very straightforward and very simple. The event has to begin or end on the week of October 4 to 10, and it has to be space related. So anything space related happening over that week can be registered in our global calendar, and then we record it and we count it as an official World Space Week event. It can be a number of things. It can be a movie night dedicated to movies about space. It can be an essay competition in a school. It can be a series of lectures. It can be a series of webinars. This year, we dedicated to satellites, the broad benefits of satellites. And
Right.
the theme this year is Satellites Improve Life. So we did publish on our website and also our social media channels suggestions and ideas on how to celebrate World Space Week in a safe environment and make sure that we keep, some measures and safety measures and some social distance while doing that. And one great idea was observing satellites with the naked eye, because right after sunset, if you look at the sky, you can spot them and use a number of applications that can actually tell you where something is and what it is. Like ISS, you can see where it when it's just above you.
Okay.
And this can be an activity for a family, for example.
Absolutely. Now, also too, World Space Week is special because it's not just held on like from a Sunday to a Saturday. The dates themselves are anchored on very special events. Why is it October 4th and why is it October 10th? And it's that way every year, right?
That is every year. It's not going to change. October 4th was the launch of Sputnik, the first man-made satellite, and October 10th is the signing of the Outer Space Treaty.
The Outer Space Treaty.
So these two dates have significance in this regard and are very special, and I think they make perfect sense for World Space Week.
Mm-hmm. I met many people, in growing up. I mean, Sputnik was something that happened really, I guess before I was born. But I remember many people, still many people living today, talking about reading about Sputnik. Actually, they had watch parties where they'd go and watch it go across the sky. And there were ham radio people that were picking up Sputnik's ping, and it really, for people in the USA, they were either amazed or frightened by it. It drove our space race. It did a number of things. How do you think that, the World Space Treaty, okay, is something that a lot of people I know zero about. I think that you're somewhat of an expert on it. What is the main importance, and how does the World Space Treaty, why is it anchored into the World Space Week organization?
I can definitely say this is one of my favorite international documents because it's beautifully written. As much as we like to say that it is old and maybe not exactly relevant for 2020 because we want to see more, we want to explore more, I do think it was the start of something amazing, which is international cooperation. Space is really one domain where everyone has to work together. If we don't, we all fail. It just doesn't work to do it on your own. You have to work with other people. You have to work with other countries. Mm-hmm. All politics, all disputes, all conflicts that we might have here, we cannot bring them with us when we go off Earth. And I think this is something that once you start thinking about it, really broadens the horizon and how you see things and how small we actually are.
Yes, that's right. Amateur astronomers, all astronomers, get that humbling feeling and mm-hmm. and understand that sense of scale. But we talked a little bit about how people should get involved, which is really important. We talked about a little bit about the themes, but let's come back to the themes a little bit. This year's theme is about satellites and space, and the next year women in space. How are these themes arrived at? Is there a committee that's deciding this? Is it done by popular vote?
So we declare a theme. Our board of directors decides the theme every year, beginning of the year in a meeting, and we dedicate the following year to the theme. They are usually relevant to what is happening. For example, last year we celebrated the moon with the moon landing,
Right.
50th anniversary.
You know,
Exactly. The year before, we celebrated 50 years of the Outer Space Treaty. So we like to stay relevant. Satellites this year, I am still impressed by how relevant the topic is for everything that we've done in the past 6 months, and how much satellites helped us stay connected with one another.
Yes, and that's only going to increase with
Yes.
programs like Starlink, which has a lot of astronomers upset because they think that there'll be so many satellites in the sky that some people predict that we will see more satellites than stars at one point. But astronomers they're very clever, and they always figure out a way to work around any kind of problem that they might have. I mean, 20 years ago, it would have been unheard of to see some of the astrophotographs that you see today being done from the heart of some cities. They have these specialized filters for imaging in what are called narrowband. And Maruska, if you saw some of these images, you would swear that these must have been taken in some of the darkest locations, darkest corners of the world, instead of 6 blocks away from downtown Detroit. Okay, so astronomers are very clever like that, especially amateur astronomers. And we have had conversations about this in our shows, with the Global Star Party. If you are, how do you think being involved in this? That we've got the programs, it's great. I mean, who wouldn't be interested in space? But what is this really doing for people? Is this building better citizenry? Is it because I feel like, and I said this earlier, I feel like I'm talking to somebody from the future, okay? That the ideas that swim around in your head and the way that you look at the world, because we are now, we're a spacefaring species. I feel like I'm almost like someone from an analog world, okay, that understands aircraft flight, and certainly grew up during the space race and all the rest of it. But now it's commonplace for us to be working in space. We have spacecraft all over the solar system.
I think.
Well, how is this making? What change is this building and bringing about in the world?
I think that the most important thing that we as the association are doing and can do is give people a voice. If you are an amateur astronomer living somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you still have access to being a part of something international, something huge, something that thousands of people are participating in, and we hear you and we tell other people about it. You don't just organize something and no one ever hears about it. We actually talk about it. We tell governments, we tell space agencies, we tell the UN, we tell other people about it. And we are happy to do so, because I believe that this is the first step to empowerment of youth, of women, of people in general, all over, regardless of age, where they live, what they believe in. It doesn't really matter. Everyone can be a part of something big.
Right.
And I do think this is very, very important. And I think it gives you a sense of belonging, and it connects you to people who understand you. And this sometimes makes all the difference you need.
I think in this era of our pandemic and social distancing, feeling like that you're connected and part of something big and worldwide, bigger than worldwide, solar system wide, you know, if you can think like that, where I think that people will stop at one point will kind of their overall thoughts of inclusiveness will go beyond just thinking worldwide or global. There may be new terms like solar system wide or something that's kind of tongue in cheek, but I think true. Especially when we start to have people living full time on the moon, or maybe living full time on Mars. We will have it will be a different situation. What do you think is going to make this year's event most special beyond the inclusiveness? What is World Space Week 2020 going to be remembered for?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Probably one that I can answer on October 11th after World Space Week. Because unfortunately, my fortune teller skills are not 100% developed yet, so I don't see that far.
Okay.
But I'm very good at predicting outcomes. And one thing that I saw as most likely to happen this year is that there's gonna be a smaller number of events in comparison to previous years.
Okay.
But the quality is going to be different. It's going to be even more amazing. Not that it wasn't in the past, but this year, people who otherwise would not be able to travel or would have other kinds of constraints or restrictions or whatever can still come together. And I think this is something remarkable. I think this is super important. Right now, we have over 1,100 events in the calendar, and World Space Week hasn't even started yet. And that only shows that regardless of what is happening, this is an event that is gonna stay alive and is still gonna be present, and people will participate. And I think this is really, really amazing. And I'm super, super excited to see what organizers will come up with and what kind of events they will organize. And please follow and check out what people are doing.
Right. So the best place to go to, I suppose, is worldspaceweek.org. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
We will be publishing a lot of things on our website. Our social media channels on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook will be filled with posters and photos and the reports of events. And please come, check out, share, and support organizers and participants.
Right. Yeah, and it's easy to participate, right? I mean, you just sign up and put your event in, and away you go. So for those of you, Global Star Party, which will happen next Tuesday, will be happening during World Space Week. They'll be on October 6th. So you can look at what we do in broadcasting these kinds of things. For those of you who have been sharing live views through your telescopes and stuff, certainly you can create your own mini event and support World Space Week. I'm very happy to share any advice or anything like that to help get that off the ground for you. So get in touch with me. And Maruska, I know that you're so busy. You're only a couple of days away from launching this whole thing, and this is like the holidays for anyone that's interested in space and in astronomy, exploration and discovery. We should be giving gifts to each other or something. So big festivals. And so I'm really, really honored that you spent this time with us. I know that you're tired. It's late in Slovenia. So thank you very much. And hopefully we get to talk after the event and we can get a recap.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. It was really a pleasure talking to you. And I will make sure to check out the Star Party.
Okay, that's great. That's great. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do next here is we're going to take a 2-minute break, okay? And we're going to come back on with Jerry Hubbell and Tyler Bowman and resume our regular show. So thanks very much, Maruska. Take care. Well, we're back. Let me see. Let me bring everybody back on here. And we are here with Jerry Hubbell and Tyler Bowman. You guys are behind the virtual curtain, standing backstage. What did you think of that interview with Maruska?
That was very impressive.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to interject at the end there. I thought about a question, how she thought the conference was, or the World Space Week activities we're going to do. Are we going to have a very large virtual component going forward through the years? There's a lot of conferences and seminars, even though they'll be face to face going in next year, but they'll still have a big virtual component, I think,
Well, I
to
think
allow a lot of people to engage.
yeah. I think that, I mean, certainly even the things that we're doing here in this program where we're working, on a daily basis. Maruska was asking me about this earlier. She's going, "You're on live every day?" And I said, "Yeah." And she says, "That's a lot of work." but and it is, I mean, there's definitely effort there, but we feel it's one of the best ways to stay in touch with our community and other people that might be curious about the things that we're doing, and a great way to get our word out, and also the word out for other programs like World Space Week, for example. So anyhow, we are, let me see, what was our topics today? So we have, it's kind of simple today. I wanted to get to talk to Tyler and see what's going on in our world of the OpenGOTO community, maybe tech support, maybe forums, or everything. What's going on?
In the forum world, a lot of people are starting to show more of their images with what they can do with our mounts equipment and vice versa. So I'm going to put together, which we already have, as a Instagram page and start displaying those and making it more known and more renowned of what it is.
Put a special hashtag
Mhm.
associated with that. Once you kind of figure that out, then we will announce what that hashtag is going to be.
Mhm.
If you have, if you're shooting with Explore Scientific gear of any kind, whether it's through one of our scopes or just off of one of our mounts, you know, you can put on that hashtag, and I guess we could agree on it right now. How about that?
Yeah, we could have a little poll if you want to make one.
What do you guys think? Maybe hashtag.
Explore
Or
photos or something, or
explore
photos.
scientific equipment, or
That's too much. That's
Yeah.
too much. Maybe a suggestion from the chat. What do you guys think? Hashtag what? Be nice to have explore in it, right? Oh,
or
here. That's one. Capital E, capital S, capital G, R.
I'll write that down.
That might be a possibility. Explore pics. Dustin Haskins coming up with that. I like that.
A PIC or PIX?
ICS. Andrew Corkill came out with hashtag explore astrophotos. I like that a lot.
Well, we see, Scott, the main thing is we have an es.astroimages page on Instagram. So I don't know if you want to create just a hashtag or just put them on that Instagram page.
Tag, because that
Okay.
can be more.
Yeah, I agree.
Brett Blake said hashtag explore WSW, which would be World Space Week. That could be. Explore our universe is one.
Mhm.
How about OpenGOTO photos?
Yeah.
OpenGOTO photos. What if you're just shooting through one of our scopes and not an OpenGOTO?
Well, then you're not allowed. You have to use a mount. Damn it.
What if you want one of our mounts because they're backordered because they're
Right.
one, right? So,
It's true.
Right.
It's true.
sorry guys, you know, fell out like crazy. We really didn't. ES underscore showcase is one. Blake says, "Can you lend me?" Oh, Nicholas Rochia wants Brett Blake to loan him his mount, I guess, or scope. And then Jeff Wise says, "Just explore." I like explore pics,
By Dustin.
explore images, or explore astrophotos. I think I'm.
How about explore gallery? I don't know. That's more generic. Explore
Yeah,
gallery.
that's kind of generic. Explore astrophotos, explore pics. What was the other one, Scott?
Explore astrophotos,
Explore pics.
explore pics. That would be, but that could be anything, right? It could be anything from a hummingbird to, you know, NGC 253, you know, so,
Yeah.
right?
Well, Sheldon takes bird pictures through a telescope, so
True. It's true. Maybe we should
you
allow
got pictures. You got pictures of
part of the,
Teddy.
right? So why would I be a hater and say that he can't have birds in there, right?
How about the tardigrades you take through our Explore scientific microscopes?
That's right.
I think explore pics has got the win.
I think so. All right. Okay, folks, it's going to be hashtag explore pit. Now, the hashtags have to be, are they case sensitive or not?
It can be if you want them to be. I mean, they don't have to be. Then yeah, just make it how you want it.
Make it how I want it, huh?
Yeah. and then we can.
Brian Fanny came up with explore cosmic shots. Okay. I was at a bar one time when we had cosmic shots, but
Yeah, cosmic shots sound like a drinking thing.
explore space. That's pretty cool. Explore space is good. Oh, Explore Pix is already used heavily. Thank you. Yeah. Explore taken by people with Explore scientific equipment. Why don't we make it like, I was thinking like hashtag ESPix. That would be nice and short.
It'd be AstroPix if you're just interested in astronomy. AstroPix. Yes, AstroPix.
That could work.
So, okay, let's look up. I don't know if we're going to be able to satisfy this. ES AstroPix. All right, maybe that's it. Okay, so next show tomorrow, we'll decide what it's going to be. I want to check and make sure that it's not being used by anybody else there, but we got some great ideas. Okay, so you mentioned there's a lot of astrophotographs coming out. I think that's generally some clear skies, better weather.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And I think so.
I agree.
Yep. And what else is happening, Tyler?
Well, I'm getting a lot of people asking on our First Light series why we don't really include a manual to describe what parts come with what and how things are used. They say there's a pictogram, but it's great, but I don't know how to use my telescope by apparently using the pictograph.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of ways to go. One is that you write a manual and you say, okay, refer back to figure 1, item 2, slide it in the eyepiece, 3, turn thumb screw 4, please don't over tighten. You can say those kinds of things. The other video, and we those.
Yep, and then that's what I'm working on as well.
Right. The problem with just having written that, we are selling the product worldwide and we have lots of localization to do, okay, as far as writing, in different languages and writing it correctly, grammatically right, okay, not just throwing it into Google Translate. So that's an issue. Michael Whitaker wrote, hashtag, where's my glasses? There's a lot of where's my whatever, so that's pretty funny. But I think that the most successful stuff we've done so far is having assembly videos, out of the box assembly stuff. I did one myself on one of the First Light models. It was I think a 102 on the equatorial mount, and it's been watched quite a number of times. So we did that for a little 114 telescope that we have, which has been watched many, many thousands of times.
Right.
So I think that we should probably have more information about where to watch these videos, and we can probably put something in the box, for learning more about how to use your telescope. So I believe that that's the answer. It used to be, though, not everybody would have internet access and not everybody would watch something like YouTube, okay? But that's not true anymore, okay? If you want to learn how to do anything, it seems like, I do this. I don't know if you do this, Jerry, but, you want to learn how to get into
all the time.
How to replace these rubber pads on the mouse, for your Mac. Okay, I'll bet you there's a video for that. Okay.
Well, yeah, there's videos. The great thing is how to fix parts on your car. There's all kinds of, there's millions of videos about how to fix your car.
Yeah, how to 3D print a new engine block, for your car and install it. So I think that's true. Yep. Kanan Lucas says YouTube became quite a powerful tool for anything. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so all right. Well, Tyler, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I ordered my mini PC, so I'll be able to.
Is that
get my?
you ordered?
No, it's an Acer. I ended up just getting an 8 GB
Okay,
because I'm not going to process. I'm not going to do much on it, so
I
it should be
see.
able to handle what I needed to do.
Right. Very good.
How big are the images that you're going to take?
I'd have to look at and get back with you on that one.
Yeah, I think you're going to run into a problem with only 8 GB of memory.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go cancel the order immediately.
As long as it's
Sounds
it's expandable. I mean, if it's got an extra slot in it, you can always upgrade it.
I'll send you a link, Jerry.
You need to run all this stuff by Jerry first, before you spend money.
Well, I just know that you can try to. I mean, this stuff will run for sure. That's no problem. It's just how frustrating you're going to get after having it for 2 months and it's slow.
I have somewhere a little stick PC, and remember it was this little. I mean, it was this little tiny thing, and we hooked up everything onto that, and we're actually operating a telescope, but
Yep.
it wasn't kind of slow. It was really slow. So, I had Windows 10 on it. It was kind of choking, So
It's like having a comfortable chair, but you got a rock. You're sitting on a rock.
yeah, yeah.
You got to do this. You got to keep moving around and wait. It's annoying.
Always wishing that you had spent the extra money, right?
That's the way computers are. If they're slow,
It is.
it's going to be a pain.
All right. So let's look at who's on with us today. We got Tim Myers, Book Davies, Jenny Shelley's with us, Michael Whitaker. Who else? Of course, Dusty Haskins, Brett Blake. Dusty, I keep trying to call you. I think I'm just getting through to your office or something. So maybe you want to send me a text at 949-637-9075, and then I'll get back to you on maybe your mobile phone. I will get back to you on your mobile phone if you do that. Who else? Shailendra Sharma's on, up too late there in the UK. Let's see. Who else? Dave Ing's on with us out there in Temecula. I feel like you guys are like our neighbors or family or something, Kanan Lucas says, hello, everybody. I think Kanan's in Argentina, as I recall. Who else? Lots of conversation, same people. R.R. Dipto says hello. Hello to you. Let's see, who else? Anyone else? I'm sure there's some people out there just watching and not chatting.
Right, they're not chatting.
Right? Mm-hmm. Lurkers. Is that what they call them? Lurkers. That sounds bad, though.
Lurker, yeah, you're lurking.
Just the watching audience, They don't have to be lurkers. Now, you guys are having a good conversation here. Okay, I think I get it. We want to thank you guys for helping us out with the hashtag idea. we are going to be doing a lot more with astrophotographers and astrophotography. Now that we got some clear skies going on, this should be great. We have a whole week from October 4th to October 10th to celebrate World Space Week. We've got the Global Star Party coming up on Tuesday, so we encourage you to join that. Go to explorescientific.com/events. Get a free ticket and come on the program. Now, mind you, the program is in 4 sections. So we have talks up front, we have arts right after that, then we have the live astrophotography. So if you got a live image coming through your scope or whatever, you want to share that, you can do that there. And then we have this kind of open panel, where it's I call it Hollywood Squares, where you can you see us all up there talking to each other, sharing whatever that we want to share. It seems like every time I say kind of towards the end, okay guys, well it looks like it's winding down, is there any last words? And then people have a lot of last words. So
yeah, it drags on quite a while. I think last time was a record for time, wasn't it?
It was about 5 hours. Yeah, it was like being at just a full-blown star party, because there's a lot of people that go to, they'll drive out somewhere to a star party and they might be out for 2 or 3 hours or something, but, you got to be kind of hardcore to be out there for 5 hours or more. The real hardcore people are the ones that are out all night and watch the sun come up. That's hardcore. Right. That's right. So, but we really enjoy that you were with us today. I hope that you liked the program where we had Maruska on. I plan to have more of that kind of thing where we have talks with our daily show. Okay. We'll try to keep those down to about 30 minutes or less. And on Monday, I think, we got Pranvera Hysini, and I think Steve Ramsden's going to be on with us. And
that'll be good.
Yeah, they're going to talk about astronomy outreach of Kosovo. We touched on it a little bit. We got, there were people that contributed to astronomy outreach of Kosovo. And we think that, if we have a little bit more programming time devoted to it, that they can get closer to actually realizing their own observatory. So, and they're not looking for something grandiose or some giant science building or anything like that. They just want to get their own, telescope set up. Celestron donated a 14-inch to them, So if they could get some sort of dome structure or roll-off roof or something, for that, it will make a huge impact on that country, because it'll be their first observatory. So, I think that's totally cool. And so, guys, I think that's it. Do you have any more to add at this point?
Nope.
Nope.
I think it's been good. It's been a good program.
What's going on with anything that you wanted to cover specifically, Jerry?
No, I've been distracted today trying to get some things done, so I haven't had a chance to look at the group IO or anything. Or I talked to Wes McDonald. I'm working with him on a project, but I've just been busy.
We've piled a lot on, Jerry. So, when you guys ask, is there anything new coming? The short answer is yes. The long answer is well, we can't really tell you too much about it until we get close. I do like some slow reveals sometimes with new products before they actually hit our advertising and stuff. Like, we gave you a little sneak peek of our observatory tent, for example. When I did the first 100-degree eyepiece, I actually took the raw prototype to the Winter Star Party and let people try it out. So, but I'm glad you guys like the show, and we will.
Well, I did have one thing. I did an interview with Steve Malia that's going to be posted later, probably tomorrow. And
Okay.
Also, I'm giving a talk at the ALPO conference on Saturday. It starts tomorrow also.
Yep. So that's
I'll
great.
be on that. That'll be going on tomorrow afternoon during the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be attending that.
Let's see. Nicholas says, Scott, if you need to test stuff in the Southern Hemisphere, I'm here to help. Nicholas, we may take you up on it, so be careful what you volunteer for.
Yeah, we'll make you work. We'll
Yeah.
make you work.
Testing is not so easy, really. It's like, okay, well, now we need this tested, and that tested, and this tested. So, Michael Whitaker says, if I spend any more money, I may need the tent to sleep in.
Does have a pullover.
Okay, it's an observatory tent. Okay, although we do have a cover on it.
It's got a cover.
You could. It might get a little cold this winter, though. But it might be getting cold right now, if you know what I mean. So, Nicholas Rocha, I'm not sure which NIC you are on, Nina. Okay. Well, all right. So, Ron. Is that Tyler's photo on the background?
No.
No. What kind of photo is that? Hubble Space Telescope?
No, that is Gary Palmer's
Oh, look
video.
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm choosing or hoping to become or get to at one point.
Yeah, you will.
Oh yeah.
You want to be a galaxy?
I mean, I'm almost as big as one.
Book Davy says there's on cloudy nights there's somebody's selling a big collection of meteorites right now. I love meteorites. I just love looking at them, holding them, checking them out, putting them under my microscope, letting my tardigrades swim with them. I haven't tried that yet, but I'll bet you they thrive in meteorite dust. So, well, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you tomorrow, and until that time, keep looking up, and we'll see ya. We will see you. Yep. How do I do this? There we go. And here we go.